everyone, so today's video is going to be of Opal by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So this is the third book in the Lux series. I just finished it and I was planning on doing the book review for this tomorrow, but I just felt the need to do it today because of this ending. I'm just gonna warn everyone to try and get this bind up here because the cliffhanger, woo, oh my gosh. I haven't started the next one, just finished it and it says acknowledgements on the other side and I'm so excited to get to it. Gotta film this video before I get to the next one. Just gonna tell you guys that I really enjoyed it. I recommend it. I think that this is kind of one of those series that just grows on you as you read it because Obsidian, like, I could stop reading at any time, but I decided to continue on with it and I'm glad I did because these books just keep on getting better and better. So that's it for the non-spoilery section of this review. I hope you guys go and pick this one up because it is so good. Let's dive into Opal spoilers now. So the first thing we have is with Dawson, who is Damien's and Dee's long-lost twin brother, and that was really interesting. Katie described him as damaged goods, and it's not a lie, honestly. He's been through a lot. I think that he'll get better as the series goes on. I was kind of worried about him, and I was kind of worried that there was gonna be a love triangle because he was acting kind of shady around Katie. Was it just me? I was sensing a love triangle between those three, but it didn't work out like that. And then Dawson just keeps on running around and leaving their house and stuff, and he wants to go find Bethany. So Katie comes to this agreement with him that she's gonna help find Bethany with him, and I kind of have to go on Damien's side with this one, like most things actually. I think that kind of wasn't her decision to make, and I think that it was the right decision, but I think she should have talked it out with Damien first. And then we have this Blake's return thing, and I was kind of weary of him. Like, I didn't not trust him, but I didn't trust him either. He was just kind of there for me. I don't know. I was just on the line with him. I didn't believe him, but we'll get to him at the end. I really enjoyed this book because there was a lot of cute Damien Katie scenes in this book, and I just really enjoyed reading them. There was some arguments back in here, kind of like Obsidian. The romance in this book, it was just so wonderful to read. And then we have this whole Luke situation here. I was really surprised. He was really young. He was playing on his DS and we met him and I kind of like him. He had that kind of snark to him and I think that he's gonna be really cool when he's older. And if she ever did make a spin-off series, I want it to be of Luke. And then we have this whole line when Dee is mad at Katie and all of this, and it went on for the entire book, well, most of the book. I'm just curious, will she ever forgive Katie? I mean, I kind of understand where Dee is coming from with this whole situation. These books are one of those books that right when the main character comes in, everything gets started and everything kind of revolves around that one main character, and it's kind of annoying to read. Like, I wish there was more underlying stories than what there are in this book. There's not a lot of them, and the ones that there are in here we don't really care about as much, and I wish that Jennifer Armentrout would have put more effort into making it like that. You know, because like at this point everything revolves around Katie and her life and her situation, and everything is always a product of Katie's decisions, and that's kind of annoying to read sometimes, if you guys get what I'm saying here. And then we have this whole line when Katie is jealous of Ash, and we all know that Ash is not even a contender here, but of course she has to be jealous just because she was out with Ash and her brothers and Dee, and she got really jealous, and that was really annoying. And then she had the nerve to say, I'm not trying to act like one of those needy girlfriends, and I was like, yeah, well, you are acting like one of those needy girlfriends. She needed to get a grip in this book, like she really did. This was round one of trying to get into the dead list whole place, you know? And then we hear about this onyx spray, and yeah, that was basically the end of trial one. And then we have this whole Clarissa incident here when she shows up in Katie's house and she just kind of incinerates, I don't even know, and then she left this mark in Katie's floor, and I felt really bad for her, and I'm glad that Damien was there for her because that must have been a really hard thing to go through. I don't think we we ever found out who did that to Caressa? Did we? No. And it was so sad hearing about how everyone was still looking for her and that everyone still had hope that she would show up. And it was so sad because Katie couldn't tell anyone about it. And then Blake brings up this idea about growing immunity to the Onyx. And I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't a bad idea. I thought of it before him and I'm kind of proud of that, but that's just because of the Vampire Diaries and the Ravane, and Catherine grew immune to it, and then Damon started taking it too. Yeah, I found that the more I get into this book, the less I forget about Twilight and the more I connect this to the Mortal Instruments and the Vampire Diaries. Let's just skip to this whole dress shopping scene. Dee finally invites Katie to go somewhere with them. So it's Ash, Dee, Katie, and Katie's friend. I forgot her name. That was a really, really fun scene to talk about. They went to the diner. It was just a really cool scene because everyone's trying to get back together and be friends again, because you know that whole Dee and Katie tension that we've had for most of the book already. They're finally getting to it, and then how the book ends, we'll get to that. Don't worry you guys, we'll get to it. Then we have the prom scene, and everything was so perfect in those scenes with prom in it. And I was like, no, this can't be this perfect and then have something this wrong happen. And when I realized that Katie was gonna get stuck in that stupid dead list place, I realized it when she was talking about how she was gonna have a future and that she was planning on going to college and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, you're not going. You're not. Because if you're talking about your future, then you're a goner, man. And then the lake scene with Katie and Damien was just so perfect, and the stars and them talking like all night. It was so wonderful to read. And I was so happy reading those parts, but at the same time I was so nervous because this entire book is filled with nerves, and the exposition is just wonderful in this book because the entire time you're just waiting for that climax. You're waiting for them to go back to Deadlist, get Beth, and get out of there. You know, I was so nervous, and when they were first starting to go in, I was like, come on, you guys can all make it out. But in the back of my head, I knew it. And so we get out of there, and they're nearly successful until the lasers come out, and I was like, oh no. And then we had this whole Blake's betrayal thing. I'm so done with him. I can't wait till we see him in the next books, because we have to see him and we have to kill him now, because he was the one who did this to Katie. And this entire time I thought that Katie would be spared from all this because Blake had feelings for Katie, but I guess not. Now she's stuck in Deadlist and I'm so nervous for her. And that just goodbye scene was the most heartbreaking thing. You guys do not want to see how I was when I read that. Oh my gosh, I could not even handle it. Like with the rum and hearing them stomping, her pushing Damien, and it was so heartbreaking. And then when Damien was like, I'll love you, I'm so scared for Katie in the next book, because we see how damaged they are when they get out of Deadlist, and no one really and truly recovers from this. So what I'm curious about is, one, how long is it going to take for Katie to get out of there, because Katie of course has to get out of there, and two, will she be fully recovered when she gets out of there? There's also this whole line with Damien. How is he going to handle this? Is he going to go all Dawson on us and then just go running around trying to get into Deadlist without a good plan? Because I'm kind of scared for his well-being in the next book. And also, will we only see from Katie's point of view in the next book? Will it be in Damien's point of view? Because I think that would make for a really great story if Jennifer A. Armentrout can make a huge distinction between the two, because some authors can't do that. Cough cough, Veronica Roth. Anyways, like I said in my last video, talking about how every single book has that one song that you can always relate to, so I have two today that reminded me of Opal, so I'm gonna be sharing them with you guys. The first song we have is Be Alright by Lucy Rose, and the first time I heard this song, it was the season finale of the Vampire Diaries, and that song had me hysterically crying. Not only the situation in the season finale of the Vampire Diaries, but the music. It was heartbreaking. I don't know, I just moved to this song once I finished this book because it reminded me so well. So here's a little sample of it. So that was a little sample of Be Alright. I'll leave a link in the down bar if you want to check it out. Just listening to that song after I finished Opal, I was about to burst out in tears. Oh, the ending in that song, it was so perfect. It took you back to that lake scene with Katie and Damien when he was like, oh, everything will be alright, and it was just, oh, it was so good. So good. And then our second song is The Weight of Living by Bastille. First of all, can I tell you that Bastille is one of my favorite bands ever. Their album is just wonderful, Bad Blood. It's so good. But this song kind of reminded me of Katie and Damien's troubles with killing and just kind of dealing with death in general. So let's take a listen. Okay, so that was Weight of Living, and if you're wondering, that was part 1. I love that song. I love Bastille, and I think everyone should listen to them. Yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm so excited to get on to Origin and then take the, what, 2-week wait until the next one comes out. What is it called? Opposition. I'm so excited for it. Even though I haven't even read Origin yet, I'm still excited. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave your thoughts on the book down below if you have any thoughts. If you don't, then just don't. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!